What's up, soul family? Welcome back to Tiger Heart Universe. This is the Philosophers Stoned, episode 1, The Meaning of Life. Today's guest, very special guest, friend from college, friend I'm very inspired by, very just kind of like motivated by her lifestyle, just the way that she takes on life. Brynn Mcintosh. Thanks for joining me today.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be episode 1. I'm so excited to talk about the meaning of life, bro, because this is the shit I be thinking about every single day. Every single day, for real. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Yes. So let's just get right into it.
Absolutely.
We'll spark up this bad boy.
Yeah.
So typically on the Philosopher's Stone, we always have a little tool to help open our consciousness. But Brynn is already very open. She's already, very introspective. So she's gonna be chilling. I'm gonna be token, because that's what I do. But
No, it's perfect. Somebody needs to be smoking on here. Otherwise, I don't know what this channel would be.
Let's not fuck around.
All right. Like that.
I'm like this. What do you think the meaning of life is? In general, and then we'll get to your personal life.
Okay, for sure. So the conclusion that I kind of stumbled upon was that life, there really is no meaning unless you make it. So I kind of, so for me, I'm an art kid. I grew up always being an art kid, from drawing to graphic design. Now I have my own clothing brand, streetwear. So I kind of think of life as a canvas, a blank one, and you can choose to either do something with that canvas or let it be. I think as humans, it's pretty much in our nature to give meaning to every single little thing. Like for humans, there has to be a reason why we're here, a reason why we have dreams, a reason why this, etc. But I really think there's no reason to all of it. I really think that it's just, it's up to us to give that meaning. That's kind of what I've decided, but I don't know. I don't know if that opinion will change over time. I think that's the beauty of living in life, that you can alter that. It's almost like manifestation. You can literally change your realities. You can change so much about everything around you. I'm in control of who's around me and what I get to see every day, those types of things. And outside of that, nothing really exists. I don't know, I can get pretty existential about it.
Does that scare you in any capacity?
What, the existentialism aspect of it?
The fact that there's no meaning aside from what we give it.
Right. Honestly, yeah, because this is when I start thinking about the universe. The Big Bang and how that was an expansion of the universe. I always talk about this with my boyfriend, where I'll ask him what was before the universe. It's crazy because I still ask why. I still ask, why is this a thing? The fact that we can
more effort to create something than to not be anything.
Exactly.
So there must be a reason, for an intent of some sort.
Exactly.
For that.
Bro, you're just reminding me. You just remind me of this really cool question my boyfriend asked me. What was it? I think either last night or 2 nights ago. He asked me, if you took everything that existed in the world and put it inside a box, what would be outside of the box? If you took everything, our planet, space, everything that we know to be true, to be real.
What would exist?
Yeah.
Because
outside of the box.
Conceptually, you've taken everything and put it within the box.
Yep.
So could space exist outside the box?
That's what one of his friends responded, that there would just be more space, Because for me, I was like, there's nothing outside of that box, because
even emptiness, the word emptiness, is a concept.
Exactly.
So it's a something.
Yeah, that we've attached meaning to. It's crazy. Damn, are people gonna get this, bro?
The people who watch this channel will get this. Right, guys?
Damn. I mean, just let us know in the comments.
No, I have a similar kind of idea. I mean, my perspective about life in general, especially like the lives we live like here in this 3D world, I feel like is specifically meant to challenge us in specific ways to get us to be like better iterations of ourselves, like higher, more like refined expressions of ourselves. I feel like the whole universe is like an experiment to do the universe better.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like lives are just very micro experiments.
Yeah. That's so crazy that you said that, because that's something I think that's part of my answer that I didn't go further into, because I was saying like life's like what you make it, and I feel like the meaning I've chosen to give my life personally is to learn, to ascend. I feel like I believe in reincarnation too. I believe like every life we're presented with a set of challenges. Maybe there was something in a previous life we didn't get to fully accomplish, so we're brought into this new one to ascend and just do better. I think life is also just like one big lesson for your soul, or it's like a playground, like you said, experiment. It's a playground for your soul to ascend and to learn, to grow. And I think there's certain people in life that are meant to align with you, and then you also teach them things. Like it's just like a whole school experiment. Like it's what you make it, and that's the meaning I've chosen to give it. Otherwise we could easily just be sitting like exactly, like just staring at each other for the rest of life, you know. But that's not the meaning we've given this. Like that's not what we chose to do with the canvas. We chose to you chose to learn. You chose to go out and experience new things and to ascend more spiritually.
I love how you call it a canvas. I feel like that metaphor is just like spot on.
No, it's perfect. I love it. Thank you. Because it's like a painter. Like like before that canvas, it's nothing. It's just material in the world, like in the atmosphere. And yet it took someone to paint it, and now it's an art piece. Now it's an art piece about philosophy, an art piece about this. There's a whole narrative now, and then now this canvas has meaning. It's a great one. Yep. How you feeling right now?
We're chilling.
Okay. I was like, it's like that's still pretty fresh.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
you still got a lot more.
Taking it slow. Okay. Why do you feel like so many people get distracted along this journey? You know, if it's about learning, it's about play. Most people don't live it like that.
Yeah, I call that kind of, I don't know if this is the best term, but I call it surface level thinking. It's so surface. It's so, because I think of life as like I mentioned playground. It's almost like a game to me. Yeah. And people are very serious about the game. So is that what you kind of mean? Exactly. Like people getting distracted from the things that truly matter. Yes. Like how people can get attached to money and outcomes and clout, like social media, all that. Yeah, I think it's a lack of presence, a lack of appreciating what's already given to you, because you know the way society has been running so far, it's that people put value on everything kind of but themselves, if that makes sense. Like there's so much external value placed on objects, people. Like just yesterday I was at a pretty big podcast studio called No Jumper, and just talking with some of the people. Everybody was beautiful, by the way. Everybody was very humble and kind, but I noticed that people would kind of subtly put in these what they would refer to as like flex moments, like, oh, I was at Doja Cat's birthday party or something, and I was like, not that was a bad thing, that was awesome, I love Doja Cat. I just noticed that people will add those things to give them, to give themselves value. It's like, hey, value me because I have this thing going for me. And it's like, dude, like you could have not shared that at all, and like I would have already seen your value, you know. And I mean, I found myself doing that too. Like, I reciprocated that energy because that's what was presented. I was like, okay, I guess I'll flex some of the stuff I've been doing. To be honest, like sometimes I play into the game and I'll be like, well, this isn't why I'm dope though, you know. But yeah, people can get very caught into just, it's all external. Anything that's outside themselves, they can grow a lot of attachment to, and we don't make it easy to not be distracted, you know. There's so many things where it's just so easy now to get lost in that way of thinking. And yeah, I question that too. It's almost frustrating. I'm like, why are you taking this so seriously? Like there's so many things to be appreciative of that you already have. And you mentioned the power of now too. Like I love that saying at the beginning of the book where it's the guy was saying that there was like a homeless guy or something, and he was asking this guy like for some money, and this guy who's begging for money, he's sitting on a treasure chest, and he comes up to him and he's like, well, have you ever opened that box before? And he was like, no, like I don't need to, like can I have some money? And you know, and then he finally looks under the box and it's like a whole treasure chest, like everything you already like had. So it was just like a saying, basically the point was that everybody is already great. It just, he didn't even realize it. Like the guy who was begging, it's like you were looking for that outside of yourself when it was really with you this whole time. So ever since I read that line, it just really put a lot of things into perspective for me.
And it's a game of like, you'll never be satisfied with
exactly. Why do you think people get distracted?
We have a whole culture that feeds into that paradigm.
Yeah.
You know, it's hype beast culture.
Exactly. No, it's true.
You know, it's like materialism, whatever. It's the superficial success.
Yeah.
Like that's what we should strive towards. Like that's human excellence.
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me.
Right.
What happened to virtues? Like what happened to kindness and compassion? And just like building community and just being good to one another.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, people start valuing your life based off of what job you have, and it's like those things are so replaceable. And one thing for me especially has been like Instagram followers and stuff. Like I've had friends that literally ask me, how did I get in contact with all of these like pretty big people? And they would point out my Instagram followers, it's like less than 2K. Like we're almost there, but it's like the fact that they thought that my follower count was important or it was equivalent to my success was just mind-blowing to me. It's like, wow, that is by definition to me surface level thinking. It's like no, these people really saw me. They saw my potential. They saw who I could become. All of those things, and that's where like those are rare, but those are the people that I hold on to for sure. So yeah, rare is distract a lot. Like you said, it's like our whole society literally reinforces that type of behavior.
And it takes like you listening to your own intuition to be like, that's not my truth.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Energy is kind of wasted energizing that.
Absolutely.
I like what you said, like replaceable. I think of like impermanent. Like, everything's like fleeting. Everything's changing. You know, what's real, what's true, but like what you learn, like your wisdom.
Yeah.
Like, the depth of your soul.
Right.
You know? What else lasts?
Yeah. Like, you can't take any of this with you.
Literally, man. And it breaks, whatever, shit rusts.
Yeah.
You can see, like, in the material world, everything just changes into something else.
Yeah, and you're constantly gonna want more and more unless you are aware of that value internally.
And too, like, when you realize, like, oh, I'm already inherently valuable, like, I don't need anything external to validate me, like, you enjoy the process, you enjoy the journey, like, you can be happy on your way to success.
Exactly. The journey, I would say, is more valuable, more important than the goal itself. Because along the way, like, not only have you learned new things and experienced new things, but you've also come across people who have helped you along that way, and I think that's what makes life very precious. The meaning I choose to also give it, which is just meeting people who I align with.
Yeah, because I don't know, it's something about being in that present moment or activating different parts of each other, and you never know.
It's great.
It's gonna come.
Exactly. Like I'm so present right now. I'm happy to be here.
What?
There you go. Yeah, you lose me.
Like, hold up.
Yeah. No, you good.
But yeah, dude, like, it's so good to have you here. Freaking, what is it called? Christening this couch.
Damn. I'm honored. I'm gonna make sure I step it up.
We already stepped it up.
Okay. All right.
First question, we stepped it up.
Yeah, we really did. It's that confidence. I love it.
Exactly.
It's a great channel already.
So what about in your life? Like, what has just been something, because, you know, we're both still young. We're both still figuring it out. But
absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like we're some pretty wise souls.
Yeah.
You know? So what do you feel like you've learned from this life / like what is it teaching you? You know, what lessons do you feel like you're understanding through this life?
That's a really great question. There's been a lot of lessons over time. Wow, let me collect. I think off the bat, something that I'm really valuing is definitely patience. And a little bit of what we talked about, appreciating the journey. I used to be very impatient. It was bad, like, it was really bad. Like, like inner restlessness too. I struggled with that a lot. Like, I used to just buy sneakers. I was very much this person we were talking about, surface level, giving into the external things that give you like 5 minutes worth of satisfaction, and then you're already looking for the next thing. So I'm really learning about addictive behavior, actually. That's my biggest one right now, next to patience. They kind of work together. Like addictive behavior, like I notice in society there's certain addictive behaviors that we allow, like phones, phone use, like porn. Like people, especially amongst men, they think, oh, well, they're men, so of course that's normal. That's every grown boy. It's like, no, like that stuff is really bad. So I'm becoming more aware of just addictive behaviors. So a big lesson for me has been to balance things, even when things are going right. Like I've been facing a lot of success recently, and I'm so grateful for it, but because of that success, I find myself a little extra glued to my phone because I'm so excited about what's next. I can get caught up in who's viewing my story, or like just that, you know, the validation from others. That's something I'm working on too. I'm trying to work on, that's another thing, just making sure that I'm posting things because I'm proud of it, not because of anything else. But those things, like, especially when things are going right, that was like a very recent lesson for me. When things are going right, it's like, take a walk now. Take a break. Because you don't want to spend your whole day just scrolling. I'm very hyper aware of it now. Like, you know, my birthday and people are just showing mad love. You know, that part of me is so anal about getting back to people right away. Because I'm a little lazy. Like, if it's after my birthday, I'm gonna like you might pass the deadline. Like you might not get a text back until like another few months. But no, like like just stuff like that on my birthday. So I was glad, like I was like, okay, let's go to dinner, like me and my boyfriend, things like that. So that's a big one for me right now. Like understanding addictive behaviors within myself. And next, like prior to that, would definitely be patience and understanding that everybody has their time and that everything will truly work out as long as you're consistent and your positive thinking is aligning with your actions too. Because not too long ago, I used to feel really frustrated when I'd see people that I knew finding themselves in really successful positions, it was almost hard to watch, because watching their success would remind me of where I was and my dissatisfaction of where I was. So I used to get very caught up in that, like, how come this isn't happening now? Like, just understand that things don't happen on my time.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a little discouraged if I sent out a DM to somebody of interest that I wanted to work with or have them rep my clothes. I'd feel really discouraged. But then I get a response like 3 months later or 2 months later, and it's like, wow, like, what was the point of instilling so much doubt into myself? So understanding that things don't happen on my time, and people think, and this happens to a lot of people, they think just because it doesn't happen on their time, it's not happening at all. So that's another big one for me, 100%.
Wow.
So pretty much just like being present, understanding like myself. I went really internal. Over the pandemic, just understanding my shadow self. That was another big lesson too.
Oof,
yeah, shadow work, man. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm really big into like birth charts, and because I really want to understand myself. So I remember seeing things I didn't like, and I so badly would want to change those things I didn't like. I'm like, well, how can I fix it? How can I remove this part of myself? And then I finally realized, especially around the pandemic, like when it was like a real quarantine, everybody was just at home, I realized that you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a part of you, and that part of yourself needs love too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're on love yet, but
we're
I'm like, I'm like, come on, Brynn, let's not do this. But
it's a part of it.
Yeah, but the acceptance is definitely there. Like, I'm definitely accepting of my shadow side. I recognize that it's part of me. It's here to stay with me for the rest of my life. And I learned that you can balance it. It's just all about balancing, just making sure that it's not overpowering, you know, the, I guess, more positive or the other side of yourself. I don't know, however you want to phrase it. But yeah, just making sure that that you monitor it and accept it, and eventually love that part of yourself too. So yeah, those are off the top of my head the like key lessons that I've really learned in this life.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna be unstoppable in your life. Like, motherfuckers be like 60 and be like, should I be patient? You know,
Right. That's so true though. Bro, my siblings and I talk about that all the time. We're so grateful that we're learning this so young in our 20s, because, you know, we look at our parents or other adults and we're like, wow, like, okay, like, they're learning too, but you're noticing that, like, just the time difference, and you're like, wow, like, there's certain lessons that they're still working on, and I feel like for us, we're catching on to those very early in life.
Yeah.
So I think that's also part of this generation that I really enjoy.
Breaking those cycles.
Yeah, breaking generational curses or cycles. Yeah, like, I'm seeing it with my mom and my dad too. They're breaking their cycles too, and it's a very healthy home environment.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, everybody just like ascended during that pandemic. It's crazy. Like, everybody started being more communicative. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Awesome.
It was beautiful.
I definitely feel like the pandemic was kind of like a necessary societal catalyst to let us look at our shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're all like running, being distracted.
Absolutely.
Whatever, let me get my more material things. And Spirit was like, y'all sit your ass.
Yeah. No, for real. Absolutely.
So here we are, post-pandemic. Can we create a better world? Can we do it?
I think we can if we put the intention, if we have the intention there, and if we take time to listen to each other.
That's what it is.
That's the problem. There's no communication. It's so bad. It's like, if you disagree with somebody, then you just block them. Like, I'm like, there's no trying to find middle ground anymore. I feel like that's kind of like that's our biggest setback, honestly. I feel like if we can set aside such like intense emotion towards that, like, oh my God, like, you don't agree with me, then I'm canceling you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. It's like I'm gonna end a childhood friendship because now I'm learning that I don't agree with you. It's like how do you expect to overcome this if nobody's willing to listen? It's like when you're a kid and you argue with your siblings and everybody just slams their bedroom door.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you, and then they come out like an hour later, because I used to do this, like we come out like an hour later and act like nothing happened. And it's like, and that's it, and that's the shit that, and then that's like, that literally builds over time and just it's only a matter of time before it explodes, you know? So that's like, I think it is possible to create a better world. I think there's a good amount of people like you and I who also took that pandemic to go internal. I definitely don't think it's just us. Like I really did feel like a shift in energy for a lot of people.
Yes.
But yeah, there's still so much work to do. Like that's just the beginning of trying to make effective change. Absolutely.
But we're ready. I feel like as a collective, sick of the old ways.
Yeah.
Tired,
I'm feeling that
old,
too. I'm like, okay, yeah. Like I think we're doing a good job of questioning these old ways. It's like, wait, how is this benefiting us at all? Like we're asking more questions. We're taking better action. I think the only thing for me is just the communication.
And the being able to just open our minds.
Yeah.
You know, we think we're right. We think whatever we read was the correct thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Crazy.
Maybe if we all spoke to each other, we'd find the truth.
Right.
Amongst all of our different perspectives.
Did that die or am I tripping?
You know, any last final thoughts that you have about this subject? Anything we talked about?
I would just tell the fellow viewers to think about. I'm curious to know how they've painted their canvas. You know, like what have you done with your blank canvas? What's the meaning that you gave to it? Go out, talk to somebody, have a conversation with somebody, maybe someone in your family where you have different views. I don't know. Just try to find peace with somebody.
Yeah,
that's something I would love to end off on.
Common ground.
Yeah.
We all have a common ground somewhere. We're all connected. You know, we're all one human family at the end of the day.
Human race.
Hey.
I don't think you can cut it after that. Right? Human race.
So I feel like we definitely found out the meaning of life in this episode.
Yeah.
So no one needs to search anymore. There needs to be no more soul searching, no more hiking in the Himalayan mountains, no more guru, what should I do? You know?
You can find that all here.
Exactly. So yes. Thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Philosophers Stoned. Brynn, it's been an honor, honestly.
Thank you, dude. I'm honored to be this first episode. Yes. I'm excited for the growth of this channel.
Yes. So everyone, hope you stay blessed. Hope you stay prosperous. Be your best self. Be the best you can be. Peace.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, man.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
I love it.